been a while since I brought the camera along. Figured final training run of this block, pretty much 2 weeks until race day. So yeah, let's bring her along. I love starting long runs here because first like quarter mile is the steepest thing I'm gonna run on all day. It's a perfect way to remove all expectations from the run as far as pace and those type of factors. Yeah, just a steep hike, and we'll run at some point. So today's run is something of a dress rehearsal because I've quite literally got the outfit I plan on racing in a couple weeks on that final test. But in other ways, it's not really a dress rehearsal at all, because 2 weeks ago I did race checking out 50K, which certainly was a lot harder and longer of an effort than today. So in that way, it's kind of just a fun run today. Kind of finishing up the training block, as I mentioned earlier, which is always fun. The pressure's kind of off. Put in one of the best blocks I've put in probably ever, certainly the last few years, which is very encouraging. So checking out wasn't a disaster by any means, but it certainly wasn't a dress rehearsal type of run that made you feel real great for the final performance. But it did provide some great learning that I will hopefully apply if I use my brain at Sonoma. One of the things that went really well with Chuckanut was I've been practicing this little, I don't even know if I'd call it a mantra, but just kind of more of a state of mind while racing. And really, it just kind of distills to one word, which is just grateful, because I honestly feel like that is probably the number one thing we should feel any day we're out here healthy and able to do this, able to be in these places and push our bodies like this. So I did do a really good job of keeping that mindset and just kind of saying that word to myself, gratefulness, which was a big boost for my run. On the flip side, if I had just started a little more aggressively and felt a little better, I think I probably could have got that third podium spot that was really the goal for the day. So it's hard to not carry a little disappointment from that, but just remind myself, stay grateful and apply those things that, I should have done a little better. So onwards and upwards to the next one. Hat tip to the greatest running publication around, Like the Wind magazine, and including their own hat tip to Mr. Rudyard Kipling. Say what you will about the man, but he wrote some great words. And yeah, that little reference got me going down the rabbit hole of his great poem, If, which has given me a second mantra of sorts to carry with me while racing, which is a specific line from the poem. And that line says something to the effect of, if you can face both triumph and disaster and call them both for the imposters that they are. Which I feel there's other lines in there, face a long minute for make it 60 seconds run or something like that. But to me, that triumph versus disaster line is really pertinent when those dark moments pop up, and also really grounding when those, you know, high moments happen. And just remember, both triumph and disaster are both imposters when it comes to defining who we are, right? Small blips, small moments. So, regardless of how my last race went, it wasn't really triumph or disaster, but somewhere in the middle. And it still doesn't matter. It's just an imposter for defining who I am and who any of us are. So keep that in mind. None of it defines you. It's all just part of the journey, and all we can do is learn from the good and bad moments, carry it forward, and hope it helps us become better people for those around us, which is far more important. Not an ugly place. I think it would actually be hard to not stay grateful when you get to have these trails for a playground. Pretty incredible. Over the past year or so, this little spot has gradually become probably one of my favorite places on earth, which is really weird because it's essentially just 3 different routes up to the top of the same small hill, and all 3 of them are pretty difficult. Maybe it's not that weird. That's probably why I like it, but it's weird to me because probably 18 months ago I had sworn off of most trail racing and was solely focused on the roads again. So I think I'll give 36th Street Hill, all 3 routes, a little bit of a shout out here for, through their pain and misery, turning me back into a trail lover. So if you're ever in Boise, check it out. Also cool, but it's on private land and they let us use it. Righty. Like I said, basically 1 hill, 3 ways up. It will kill you and make you fall in love with trail running. At least that's been my experience. And for the 36th Street nerds out there, the most I've done in one run is 8 loops. A couple full agonies and a couple centers. So yeah, what's your best? How many 36th Street? Answer in the comment. The Hollow is another little gem in the Boise trail system. Some good little steep bits, plenty of climbing. Woo! Super fun. It's gonna be a lot less footage on the way back. I decided to take a split at halfway, do steady on the way out, and now kind of closer to tempo, a little slower than that, more like 50K race or 50-mile race pace. So yeah, I'm pushing up every hill. Could not ask for a nicer day though. Unbelievable. Oh, just a couple miles of downhill left. Definitely pushed a lot harder on the way back. But all in all, feeling pretty good. Somewhere between triumph and disaster. And it's all groovy. Woo! What a privilege.